welcome everybody once again to Haunt Chat Live. Tonight in the spotlight, we got Code Yellow. Yeah. Want everybody to give a very warm welcome to the one and only Gravedigger.
Hey, how you doing? We are in season 3, episode 11, and like I said, I don't have that many fingers, so I can't do this thing. And we got a little bit of glare there. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. Hey, welcome everybody. And like Mistress Laurie said, and did you notice how I stayed quiet through the whole thing, so I didn't interrupt you this time?
You can be taught.
I got in trouble last time.
You can be taught.
Yeah. But anyway, so we got Code Yellow coming on. They're an awesome two-man podcast, blog. They got it all going on. So we got that coming up here. But as always, first we want to talk about what the giveaway at the end of the night was. You know, we always do this. And this was kind of special because we do have Code Yellow on and, you know, their vlog. And they're using that new, Patreon. You guys have heard of that, the subscription service where you pay to, belong to it. You get special content and all that. Well, they are giving away... They're giving away a month of Patreon for their service, of course, for Code Yellow. But so when we ask the question at the end of the show, then they'll you email that what we got right down here, hauntchatlive@gmail.com. First one in is going to win a 1-month Patreon subscription to Code Yellow. Yes, but wait, there's more. That's right, folks. For the rest of you, and actually the first one also, for the first 5 responses, you're also going to get a Gravedigger iron-on patch and a Gravedigger button. Can you see it? Well, you don't have to. You can see them right down there, can't you? Yeah, right down there. So we'll be mailing those out. So for the first 5 correct answers, email to hauntchatlive@gmail.com. Again, don't message it. Don't put it in the comments because then you're going to give it away for everybody else. The only way to do it is to email hauntchatlive, and that way I know for sure which one comes in first and who wins and all that. So the first 5, but the very first one, like I said, wins a 1-month subscription, Patreon subscription to Code Yellow. Awesome. Okay, we got that set. Now, moving on. Let's see, who's the guest tonight? Oh yeah, Code Yellow. Ha! I said it before. I'll say it again. That's right. Anyway, so our guests tonight are going to be Teddy and Jared from what?
Nothing.
Okay. Teddy and Jared from Code Yellow. So everybody, not that one. No, that one. Yes, I got the right button. Woo! Yeah, that's okay there. So, welcome, guys. This is Teddy and Jared, just like the names below there say. Teddy and Jared. How you guys doing tonight? You can talk.
Doing well.
There we go. Yeah. Don't forget to unmute yourselves.
Never.
Okay. Yeah, never. Listen to them. So, welcome to Haunt Chat Live. This is the season 3 finale, by the way. So, this is kind of an illustrious type. You got to wrap up the 3rd year of it. So, make it good, all right? Make it good. Make it exciting. Make it fun. It is up to you. No pressure.
No pressure at
but
all.
My
Okay.
reputation relies on you two tonight. So let's do this and let's do this right. So, all right, let's start out. This is Teddy and Jared. These are the guys that are Code Yellow. And by the way, for those of you out there who don't know what Code Yellow is, no, we're not talking a hospital Code Yellow. Code Yellow in the haunt industry means you made somebody pee their pants, okay? Now, there's also Code Brown, Code Green, but Code Yellow. So these are the guys who can not only make you piss your pants, but they can teach you how to make other people piss their pants too, because you got all kinds of informative and teaching, and you're all about instruction. That I've said too much. You guys, tell me about Code Yellow. Go.
So, Code Yellow, we are an actor-based podcast and vlog sometimes when we're feeling saucy. But we're I think the only haunted house podcast dedicated just to scare actors and haunt actors all over.
And that's important because that kind of makes up what a haunted house is, right? I mean, you can have all the cool props you want, but if you don't have the right actors and they're not doing their thing, so they got to learn somewhere, right?
Exactly. That's a big thing that we like to stress is that
Absolutely.
actors are the heart and soul, and they drive the show. So You got to have them, and they got to be good. So it is what it is.
All right, I'll go on. I thought you guys were going to expand a little bit more, but that's
Oh,
okay.
gosh,
I'll
how
carry
much
the
can
show.
we?
I mean, it is my show. I'll go ahead and carry it, but it's all about Code Yellow tonight.
I've got weak arms, so you might have to carry a little bit
I'm
more than
old. I
normal.
got a bad shoulder, bursitis, arthritis, all that kind of stuff and everything. You guys are young kids.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean,
I don't feel young.
the main reason why we kind of started everything and wanted to put actors in the spotlight of our content was just because they are the heart and soul of the haunt. You can't get much more entertainment than the one-on-one connection you get with an actor when he scares the crap out of you, makes you laugh, everything like that.
Makes
And
you
we
piss
felt
your
like that.
pants.
Yes, and we felt like that was something that not needed to be an investment not only by haunt owners and everything, but also by the people portraying these characters. So we wanted everybody to put their all into it, and it started off locally. We started training actors around our local haunt area in Louisville, Kentucky, and surrounding areas, and it just kind of blew up from there. More people wanted to hear from us, and here we are.
That's
More
cool.
people hearing.
That's really cool. Yeah, and that's why we're here tonight, is trying to get it out to even more people so that they know that you're out there and they know what you're doing and all that. So how did Code Yellow get? No, let's back up. How did Terry? Who's Terry? I don't know. How did Teddy and Jared see Terrid? You're Terrid tonight. You're Terrid.
Crap, we're like Brangelina or whatever.
How did Terrid get started? Terrid gets out. Yeah, just go.
So, like in the industry as a whole, or the podcast?
Yes.
In the industry,
Okay.
in the podcast, Jared.
All right, gotcha. So, as far as haunted houses go, Teddy's been doing it a little bit longer than me, but I got started because I was having a rough time of it, and one of my buddies worked at a local haunted house, and he said, "Quit being a schmuck and come work this haunted house and scare people with me." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't even like this. I've never been through a haunted house. I don't want to go." And I got strong armed into it and loved it and never looked back. And that was about 2007. And we've been going strong. I think we both had the opportunity to start at a haunted house that had a lot of creative freedom with the actors, in the sense that we were given roles and rooms, but what we did with those roles was completely up to us. Of course, we had direction, but a lot of it was, you know what, you're sure there's a scary doctor, but this was what the guy did last year. Do your own thing, and we just ran with it, and we encouraged everyone else to run with it, and we found out later that the directors from years gone by, actually Teddy can probably speak more to this, had written a story, and it was more like an immersive theater experience.
Right.
And once we found that, and Teddy came back, because he was on break when I started, when he came back, everybody just started writing these little pieces and figuring out how their characters fit in, and that is kind of how we got our start in creating characters and doing all that fun stuff.
That's cool. And you have no idea how many times I've heard that initial story of where, somebody who wasn't into haunted houses or anything, but they were having a tough time, and one of their friends brought them in, and it clicked. We've got several of our actors at Sinister Sydney the exact same way. We call them the fringe. They're the ones that got bullied in school, or the nerds or whatever, and they never really, and they come to us as a little mouse. And by the end of the first year, they're like, "Oh!" And that's just, it's therapy. Okay, so that's how Jared got started. Teddy, what about you, buddy?
Sure. I started a couple years earlier than Jared at I'll call him that. It's the Baxter Avenue, Morgan, Louisville, Kentucky. We basically, my cousin worked there. He was a security guard. He was like, "Are you bored?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Here you go." So me and my mom went, and we both started working there. And really, I wasn't hooked into it like most people were immediately. It was kind of a thing that, like, for the first few years I worked it, I showed up, and I was like, this is fun, I guess. But once Jared's class started coming in is when I really got into it, because they were just a super passionate group of people, and it really helped fuel the environment and the culture of our haunted house. And that's where we got our start, and it's how we got so into character creation and development and stuff like that, just because we were allowed to. And that really built into our philosophy today, is that, you know, our directors always told us that we know better than they because we're interacting with the customers. So they want to hear our ideas. Of course, there's a narrative that they wanted us to stick to, but hey, create something. And that's what we've been doing ever since.
That's so awesome that they let you run with it, and because you do find those directors that are okay. I want you to do this,
Yeah.
but that may not fit for that person doing that character. You know, and so
Exactly.
if you allow them to be kind of themselves while doing the thing, it's much more realistic and all that kind of deal. I love that. So then the two of you guys met there, and where was that, by the way? What house were you working at?
That
That
was
was the
Baxter Avenue. Oh, sorry, Baxter Avenue, Morgan, Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay, all right. And then
So,
what made you decide to take this and put it out there and put it on the internet and start doing this and trying to help further than just your one haunt?
so that's a long story. I'll try and keep it brief. I know we don't have a ton of time, but we essentially we had been there for a long period of time, and they had a few director changes, and they didn't really work out very well. And so at some point, the owner asked me to come on board as a director and not just be an actor that year.
Cool.
So we started doing our own classes. We thought maybe, let's teach these new kids what we're doing so that they can be as good as us. Essentially, it sounds cocky, but that's what it is.
I get
So
it.
we started doing these classes to bring the new cast in during the summer, and they went over super well. And that year we started winning awards for the first time, and again, which I don't know how many people feel about awards, but they make us all feel special. So,
Yes.
Well,
and
all
then
the
we
people
also
that
started.
win.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, let's face it.
Yes. No, true. So then we started noticing that other haunted houses in our area, Fear Fair particularly, is where Teddy works now. They started coming through and paying special attention to us, and we heard from the directors that we were actually really good, and through that experience, we branched out into the community more and started to meet the real haunt community because we were kind of sheltered at Baxter. The owner didn't like the community, didn't want to be out in it, discouraged it. And through essentially, I credit it all to Fear Fair, through them inviting us into their home and having us come teach their actors. They used to do a summer camp thing, so we would go out there and work with them. And it just helped us develop, one, realize that we're good at what we do, and two, that we have something valuable that other people want to teach. And so we just started doing the circuit of the local haunts, anybody that would have us. And then through that, I started with some friends another haunted house podcast that's defunct now, but we did that for years and years. It was called Return of the Living Podcast. We were kind of like the Howard.
I actually remember that one.
Yes, we were like the Howard Stern of haunted houses. We rocked the boat a lot, got in a lot of trouble, ate our shoes, and then eventually I just started to miss it again. And Teddy and I were living together, so I said, "Hey, we're here. We do our thing. Well, let's start a podcast for it." Because I would listen to other haunted house podcasts, and while great, most of them were geared towards haunt owners, and there was never anything that I felt valuable to me as somebody who just trains actors. So I wanted to be the guy that started that thing. So we just did it.
Well, very cool, very cool. Teddy, you got anything to add to that? I mean, he did do a pretty good coverage, but he talks a lot, so.
Yeah, well, that's our Jared. He is an explainer, but no, it's pretty much hit the nail on the head. We just felt that the information that there's another thing is that a lot of the information that we teach for free, a lot of people kind of put a paywall behind or in front of rather, and we wanted to make sure that that wasn't it. Our whole goal from the start was to up the value of actors in haunted houses. I mean, one of our first main interviews we did was with multiple haunted house owners and management and operators at Transworld last year. Was it last year or year before? And we asked them what makes a haunted house actor valuable, what gives them value. And we learned that there are a lot of basic things that are answers that you would expect, like show up. But
that's tough enough right there.
Right, but there are also a lot of answers that we felt were, from our background and what we learned, was very basic information that may be something that they need to be taught. So we wanted to put that information out there, just to give everybody a little bit of value, because, I mean, we're a team. We want to help every actor out there kind of do their best, get noticed, do what they have to do. So that was pretty much the main reason we started.
Cool. Now when Code Yellow first started, so it did start as an instructional podcast to share information and help people grow and things like that. Now you've kind of expanded a little bit since that time, right? Because now I'll say when I was first initially, I think the first second year that we were doing this, I saw your guys' name and I went out there thinking, okay, maybe we can have them on. Of course, like I've said, our show is about interviewing interviewers. And at that time, you were strictly doing the two of you, putting those things out. So I'm like, okay, we'll put them on the back burner. But recently, you started coming in and interviewing some other actors and what have you. What made you decide to expand the field?
Well,
go for it, Jared. You take it.
I think it's kind of really it just boils down to, we noticed that there's a lot of I hate the word influencers, but there's a lot of scare actor influencers out there, like Pongo Joe or Amanda Revenge and all these folks.
Yeah.
That that are out talking, and they're big on Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So I thought that there are people following them that aren't necessarily following us. So the basic answer is just to get our name out there. If we do an interview with them, they share us.
Legit.
But I also didn't know how much interest there would be in that and how much story we could get out of that. And I just had a harebrained idea one day to really kind of do like an old NPR Drive kind of deal, where I was like, what, let's do 30 podcasts in 30 days. In order to do this and not run out of topics, we're going to need people to talk to. So we just started hitting up all our friends and all the people we look up to and have met, and bringing them on the show and talking to them. And it was a cool experience because every single one of them has a different story, a different learning experience, and just these incredible moments that told a great story. And we wanted to keep sticking with it.
You've actually interviewed several of my friends that people that I know, that one of which, and I got to bring his name up every time, Maximus, pumpkin crusher, pumpkin smasher, whatever. Smasher. Yeah. Sorry, Max, but yeah, near and dear to my heart, got to bring them up. But you have interviewed those, and I've listened to several of them. I can't listen to all of everybody's podcasts, but there are ones that I catch, and I love what you guys are doing. And Teddy, you were about to throw something else in there right before I burst in.
No, you're perfectly fine. And another thing that we had talked about is that while these people were influencers and they had a ton of attention, on their respected social medias, there's also parts of them that people just had no idea about. And we wanted to be the ones to give people that information, because they're all so interesting and they have individual experiences and stuff like that. And we wanted to make sure that those were heard, because every single episode we did was a huge learning and teaching moment. So
that's great. So now, how many podcast episodes have you done? Do you know what the count is? Do you know how many you have out there?
I think we're probably, we'll have to look it up. Teddy, are you on it?
Yeah, I'm on it.
I'm going to say it's probably close to 100 now, at least.
Wow.
I would say so. We also deleted a lot of them, though, so I won't have the most accurate number. But we're looking at 46 episodes in the new run, so we're probably at close to 100 on the full.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I bring that up, all these people are stuck at home with nothing to do in their quarantine and things like that. So go out and where do they find this gigantic archive of Code Yellow shows?
Any podcast app. We're literally everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher. However you listen to podcasts, we are there. It's So just look up our name, Code Yellow, a Scare Actors podcast. You can find us there. Our main home right now is it's codeyellow.podbean.com, where hosted through Podbean. So if you want just a continuous stream on your desktop, that's where you could go. Other than that, we're everywhere.
That's cool. So, okay. So you've got close to 100 episodes. How long is each show?
We try and stick to like about 30 to 45 minutes an episode, so they're not too long.
That's good. That's good. But that's still that's 75 hours worth of listening to stuff, right? So that can fill some
That's
time.
a lot.
And people
definitely.
And people can learn. Well, and even if you're not a haunt actor or something, you're gonna learn things from this stuff. You're gonna learn about how to have fun doing something you enjoy while causing a code yellow. Right? I gotta ask.
Exactly.
Do you guys keep a chart? Does your haunt keep a chart like we do? Of code yellows, code browns, code greens, code whites?
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Yeah, that was a thing that we did at Baxter at our first haunt. So when I was trying to think of names for the podcast, that was like, it just dawned on me. I was like, that was a fun thing that I used to really love when I was 16. So we just went with it.
Well, we're still small. We're still kind of a small haunt, off in rural Iowa. So, I don't know that we'll ever be a big haunt, but it's still fun to do. And again, those people that came in like mice, when they get that, you don't hear the end of it for weeks about that time that the 8-year-old, we got this awesome 8-year-old kid working here, got the 35-year-old man to piss his pants. That's just it. And those things stick with that person. Well, both those people actually, I would imagine.
Yeah.
For years to come, and can be quite the character builder of what's going on in there. So that's really cool that you're helping, you're teaching, you're helping to pass on your information. That's one of the things I love about the haunt community now, because really not that long ago, everybody was secretive. It wasn't that long ago that nobody would talk about what they did, how they did it, or anything like that. And now there's so much information out there. People are sharing the love, and they finally figured out that what's good for me is good for you, which is good for all of us. Make the experience better because let's be honest, it's not us that are going to the haunts. It's the general public that's going to the haunts. And it's what's better for them, what makes everything better for them, makes the whole industry look better.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here for just a second.
Yes.
You had brought up the different codes that we do, and there's questions on that. We do the naturally code yellow, peeing themselves, code brown, pooping themselves. Our green is puking, and our white is the chicken out, because that's the only color markers we have for our board.
The white flag, raising the white flag, and they got to be taken out. So yeah, that's our code white.
So no, not passing out, actually chickening out.
And actually, our code green on our board is written in red because I don't have a green marker. But whatever. You make code red. Ooh, we should do a code red if we draw blood.
Yeah, but it's usually our actors that draw blood on themselves.
Okay, point. You're right.
Because, they get a little overzealous sometimes.
Yeah, just not like we don't cover them in enough of it.
Yeah.
Line them up and just take the brush and that's the fun.
I would say don't do that, kids. Take care of yourselves.
Well,
Public, this is the more you know. It's a public service announcement.
We frown on them hurting themselves, but we've actually even had one guy crack his collarbone.
Yeah.
Our actors go a little overboard.
What are you doing, guy?
Yeah, he was doing dive rolls, and yeah, he didn't land right.
Yeah, didn't stick the landing right.
We don't recommend that. We like our actors to be safe, from themselves as well as the other people who come in. Awesome.
Safety is the way.
Yeah. I got to keep an eye on the time. We are kind of getting close.
And having a hard time pulling a question out of this.
Oh, I think we could get one. What do you guys got that we didn't talk about yet? That we got you on Facebook. We got your website, your Podbean. We got your Patreon. that you just started that up recently. So
That is true. One thing I'll add, taking it back a second, we do have a lot in there for actor trainers. So if you're at a haunt that is, and you're an actor trainer or in management, we do talk a lot about managing and acting from a scare actor point of view. So we talk about working with your cast from time to time as well. So there's stuff there for everybody. Um, but the Patreon thing we just started, it does cost money to do the podcast. We have to pay for hosting, we have to pay for audio editing equipment and all that fun stuff. So we started Patreon. We have 3 tiers right now. We're open to feedback on them because we're just guessing at what the people want. But we have a private Discord server. If you don't know what Discord is, it's what the kids use when they play video games to chat with each other.
them damn kids.
But we have a
right?
we have a private Discord server where Teddy and I are there. You can chat with us at any time. We also are doing monthly hangouts for Patreon subscribers. So we're doing a monthly hangout. We try and bring in our friends. Last month we brought in Andrew Martingello and Japes Palace from the Chicago area, great actor trainers and wonderful gentlemen. So they joined us, and we talked about actor training all night. So who knows who's going to pop in on those. And then at the highest tier, we are doing all of that other stuff. Plus, we have weekly bonus content that are more of a deep dive. So usually I'm picking something from a book about acting that I have from my theater days. And we're talking about how that can apply to haunted houses. Sometimes we talk about other random stuff, but mostly it's really deep kind of acting theory stuff that maybe the general public's not as into, or we wouldn't think they would be. So if you're interested in that,
we do have the link in this post. We got the link to your Patreon in there, so people can go out there. You didn't send that one to me. I went out and got it myself. But I found
sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I can do little things. I'm old, but I can still do little things. Well, cool. Let's see. All right, let's pull a question out. Let's not make it too difficult. What was the name? Oh wait, you have suggestions? Okay. Yeah, that was the one in there. Actually, I was gonna have that as the answer for the question.
Right. This. Yes.
No, I was gonna have that as the answer for the
okay.
question, but I like that. That's a little bit more difficult. They
Yeah.
might have to go back.
It was only mentioned once.
Right. Okay. So, at the first haunt, not Fear Fair, at the first haunt, and sorry about this, Teddy, but wait, no, who was it that's when they started? Was that Teddy or was that Jared? You got it right there, don't you?
Yeah.
What year did Jared start at that first haunt? Aha, there we go. Have I confused you enough so you can't figure it out? What year did Jared start at that first haunt? And I'm not even going to re-say the name because we've said it like 12 times in here. Not Fear Fair, but the other one, the first one. What year did he start there? And send your answer to hauntchatlive@gmail.com. Do not comment it. The first one gets a 1-month subscription to the Code Yellow Patreon, as well as the awesome pin and patch. And then the next 4 get the awesome pin and patch. Gravedigger, because he's a good looking guy. Look at that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's
I love my husband.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Right. So, guys, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. Teddy, you need to shut up once in a while, man. You just talk way too much.
I did some talking. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
You did a little bit. I love your hair, man. It's
I
just
think you pulled
fluffy.
It is that. I think you pulled more out of me than Jared does, so it's all good.
There you go.
Awesome. Both of you gentlemen, thank you for being on. Thank you for doing what you're doing, for spreading the information out there and getting it out there. To all of you guys watching, share this out. Share the Code Yellow out. Let other people know that this podcast is out there, all right? And that they have somewhere that they can go and get this kind of information. And I'll guarantee you, because, sorry guys, it's just a way, you're not going to like everything they say. Keep listening. Just like anything, everybody's got opinions. Everyone's got one and no one wants to hear yours. Wrong. We do want to hear yours. We want you to leave comments. We want you to like this. We want you to share it. Go ahead, send me emails. Send us comments on Facebook. We love that. Get the word out there. Let's see, Kevin, you don't have to buy a patch off me. Just email the answer to the question, and you can win a patch, and then you can get it for free. Awesome. Thanks everybody that tuned in. This was the season 3 finale. We will, for season 4, the first episode of season 4, which will be next month, of course. We do one a month, except for October.
Yeah.
We're busy during October. But is going to be the Texas Haunters Convention. So we will have them on talking about that convention going on down there. And then, of course, the episode 2 of season 4 will be, as episode 2 always is, Haunt Collective. So we'll have Doble back on here again. He's the one. Sorry, guys, he's the one that we have every year, same episode, because we like him and he does a reach around. So it's all good.
And I think he'd probably cry if we didn't.
Yeah, he probably would. He'd whine a lot, wouldn't he? Yeah. Guys, thank you for being on here. Thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to have to make sure I do this right, because Bobby bitched last time that we didn't do the exit music. So we're going to do the exit music. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next month. It's been a blast.